My dear students of second year, I am Pratap and here I am going to present first unit of technical communication, which is one of your assigned subject. I do welcome you all to share all the essentials of this subject here on these video lectures. So before starting that, I would like to highlight the way I am going to use to make all of you comfortable with this subject. The first thing, I will try to use the simplest way for better connectivity with you all. Second thing, I will use the direct language to make the comprehension better. Third thing, as a language preference, I'll go on to use only English language. If something is not clear to any one of you, you people need to leave your comments in the comments section, or all of you are allowed to contact me directly. The fourth and the last thing, and this is very much important, I need your equal efforts to make the understanding clear. Please try to understand this. This is very much important. Your equal efforts are needed to understand what I am briefing here. So, this is all about something, the way I use. One thing more is very much important here to highlight. We all do know what conditions we are facing here in India and around the globe. So, in this current scenario, we must be very much protective to keep ourselves and our family members safe. Okay, so let's start. Here the slide which is in front of you is with the name of first unit, which is Fundamental of Technical Communication. Look at the cursor where I'm moving. This is the name of this unit, Fundamentals of Technical Communication. And if I'm not wrong, all of you are well aware what fundamental is all about. Fundamental is something the basic of. Okay? Fundamental is the basic of something. So, if this fundamental is related and given as a connective word to the technical communication, it means we are going to study all the basic principle and rules of technical communication. Is it clear? I think it must be very much clear to every one of you. This is all about the name and its briefing Okay, so before going through all the contents which are related to technical communication, we have to understand, or I should say, we need to go through a bit about the communication and to know about general communication as well. Okay, so let's start. If I'm not wrong, this is quite clear and simple to every one of you. Communication is all about something which we share or transfer. Is it clear? So, we share and transfer something in communication, and what that something is, that something can be the information, something can be the news, that something can be an idea, that something can be the thoughts, then something can be the knowledge. So, in total, if you are transferring or sharing information, news, ideas, thoughts, knowledge to someone, it will be communication. Okay, so simple definition is, when you transfer some information, news, ideas, thought, knowledge with someone, it is communication. So this is just the normal definition of communication, and very much clear as well. So let's understand what is general communication. This is the next step to communication. Okay, communication is the basic concept which applies to general communication, which applies to technical communication, which applies to business communication, and all other communications which are related to different fields. Okay, so communication is clear. Now we are going to understand general communication. Here the points which are briefed here, which I wrote here as D1 and D2, are the two definition. Means D1 is referring to first definition and D2 is referring another definition, or can say second definition of general communication. Okay, general communication. So let's understand this one as well. What is general communication? So communication which is made without any specific motive and with the simplest language, that is general communication. So simple this is. Please focus your sight on the words which are underlined and bold without specific motive and simplest language. So general communication is all about when you don't have any motive in your mind, and the language which you are using, that is quite simple. That is quite simple. That is very much simple to understandable both the parties. That is all about the general definition. That is all about the general communication. And this is the first definition. Let's move ahead to the second definition. This too is with the same understanding, but written and constructed in a different way with the help of some different words. What second definition says about general communication? General communication is a normal way of talking between two individuals. This is a different way to explain the same understanding. This is all about, in this definition, we referred the talking between two individuals where they are communicating, they are interacting, they are talking with one another without having any specific motive. Look at this, where I'm moving my cursor, where two individuals are interacting or talking with one another and they don't have any motive, as well as they are using the simplest language. Is it clear? Both the definitions have the same idea, because we cannot keep that basic idea to define general communication. So second definition says general communication is a normal way of talking between two individuals where there isn't any specific motive, which includes the use of simplest language which is understandable to the both parties. So I think this complete slide, this one is very much clear to every one of you. Okay, so we are moving ahead to the next slide. Here we are going to understand a bit about technical communication. This is not the definition. Please have your concentration here. We are not defining technical communication. I am just giving an understanding about technical communication, or we can say this is just a general introduction of technical communication. So technical communication is written and oral communication. Please have your side. This is very much simple as well for you to understand. Technical communication is written and oral communication for business and industries. Is it clear? The words which are underlined and bold as well. Communication or technical communication is written and oral communication for business and industry. Means for the business purposes, for the industrial purposes, when someone is communicating with the written way of communication or oral way of communication, that is technical communication. Means it clearly mentions, just one second. It clearly mentions that communication which is related to business world and industrial world, with both the way of communication, means written way of communication and oral way of communication, that is technical communication. This is the general introduction. Okay, this is the general introduction. And technical communication focuses on many different aspects of business and industries. This is very much simple, as we just get to know about the general introduction about technical communication. Focuses on many different aspects of business and industries like product and services. Why did I mention this one, product and services? To make you a bit understandable about the link of technical communication or the work which TC, means technical communication, does in the business world or industrial world. Okay, so with respect to the product and services, TC helps us. Again, I am saying we are going to know some kind of helps which TC does in product and services for the business or industrial purposes. So TC helps us to give instruction to get required manufactured good. Means the thing which is in my mind. Suppose I am an engineer or I'm related to some production house, the thoughts which I have to get a specific or a new product, I'm giving those all instructions to the base worker. So there it is very much important. We use technical communication. Second point, TC helps us. TC helps us to marketing it for the profit. This too is very much important. TC is responsible to market the product which is manufactured as per your wish, as per your thought, for the profit specifically. The third thing, TC helps to manage its demand. This is the responsibility. Means if the people who are responsible to manage the demand in the market, they will use technical communication to do this. Okay. The fourth thing, TC helps us to deliver, means to supply to the client, means the interaction which will be between the client and the production house, that will be done by some specific people and they will use technical communication there. And the last thing, how to use the product. The way people or company uses to let the client or customer know about a product, they use both kind of instructional manuals. They use written way of communication to let the client know about how to use that, and they give demonstration as well orally, so that client or customer can get to know how to use this product or how to avail the services. This is all about the general introduction of technical communication. I think it is very much clear. Don't be confused about these 3 dots. These 2 points are for those all students who have some more ideas related to product and services where TC helps. Again, I am saying these 2 points where 3 dots are specifically mentioned, these 2 points can be filled by the students, those who have some more ideas about the product and services where TC helps. Clear? We are moving ahead to the next slide. This is the definition of technical communication, and I'm sure D1 is quite clear to every one of you. This is the first definition, D2 is the second definition, and D3 is the third definition, and all definitions are quite simple. Just have your sight, have your focus on the words which I will specifically mention. Okay, one thing more is important for me here to highlight. Please do not get confused with the definitions which I am displaying here. Okay, because these all words are mine and all of you are supposed to understand the words which I use to explain. And if any one of you is framing your own definitions with the same understanding, that would be the righteous definition. Do not worry about, no need to mug up the definition which is here on this slide or which is given in the books. Okay, understanding is more important when you are giving your own definition, when you are explaining the same understanding. Okay, so definition first. Communication which happens at business and professional level by the use of proper professional words and language. So simple this is. Please have your sight on the words which are underlined and change with the color in red. Means communication which is happening in business and professional level. Means the communication which people are doing in the business world and at professional level. And if they are using pure professional words and language, that is technical communication, and this is the simplest definition. So in a complete flow, communication which happens at business and professional level by the use of proper professional words and language is technical communication. Let's move ahead to know the second definition. This too is quite simple, but just have your focus on the words which I specifically mentioned. The second definition, communication which is for the specific crowd. Means when you are establishing a communication, you are choosing a particular crowd to communicate that. Second thing, with specific instruction. Means look at the cursor, I am relating the words with your sight. Okay, I'm trying to make a bond between the sight and the words which I'm like explaining. So with this specific instruction means the crowd which you chose, you are giving some specific kinds of instruction to them. Third thing, with specific words, the words which you are using to explain, those words are related to that particular field only. And the last thing, the communication which you are establishing or doing with the people or that group, that is specifically targeted, means with a specific target you are doing that communication, and this is the complete definition and the best suitable as well. So in a flow, definition says communication which is for the specific crowd with the specific instruction with specific words and to achieve a specific target is technical communication. So simple this definition too is. Okay, just understand. The third definition says technical communication is a means to convey scientific, engineering and information related to technical field. This definition too is quite simple and specifically mention the areas which comes or which are used to communicate with some specific words and area of discussion. So third definition says technical communication is a means to convey. First thing means technical communication is a means to convey scientific, engineering and information related to technical field, means the information which is related to technical field, the information which is related to engineering or scientific field. When people are establishing or doing communication with these all sectors or in these all sectors, that communication will be technical communication. I think these three definitions are sufficient enough to make you understand what technical communication is all about. Okay, so I'm moving to the next slide. This is the difference on this slide. This is the difference between GC and TC, and here GC stands for general communication and TC technical communication. Let's move ahead to know the basic differences between these two. So general communication contains a general message. So simple this is, means general communication comes with the general message, means it doesn't have any specific value. The message is not too much valuable, but we cannot ignore the valuability of a message which you are doing in technical communication. So technical communication contains a technical message or targeted message, the message which you are conveying, which you are sharing, which you are transferring to someone else, that is specific message, that is targeted message, that is valuable message. Okay, second point, general communication is informal in style and approach. General communication is very much informal in style and approach, means there isn't any necessity to use formality in the style and approach in general communication, but it is expected to have formal style and approach in technical communication. You cannot ignore, means in business world and industrial world, it is very much important for you to be quite formal than casual. Okay, third point, or I should say third difference, don't have a set pattern of communication, means there isn't any set pattern in general communication, but technical communication always comes with a particular set pattern, always with a set pattern, means general communication there isn't any set pattern, it can start and end at any from anywhere. I should say general communication can start and end anywhere, but technical communication always requires a particular set pattern to communicate. It needs the defined starting and expected end as well. This is the difference. Point number 4, general communication comes with the oral way of communication most of the time, but technical communication, as we discussed in the introduction of technical communication, it is with the oral and written way of communication both. Okay, so simple the differences are. For fifth point, general communication is not for a specific targeted group, or I should say for a specific crowd. We never ever choose a particular group to do that general communication, but we cannot ignore that choice to select a specific group or audience to do technical communication. This too is very much simple as a difference. And the last point which differentiate GC and TC, general communication comes with the simplest vocabulary and without the use of graphics. We should say general communication does not involve the use of technical vocabulary or graphics, but we cannot say technical communication will come with the general vocabulary. It comes with the specific words, or I should say the jargons are all those words which are specifically related to some specific fields. So technical communication frequently involves jargons, look at the cursor, jargons and graphics as well. So here we have 6 basic differences in GC and TC. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Here we are going to understand the importance of technical communication, and I'm not supposed to say that importance is related to business world and industrial world. Okay, so we are going to know the importance of TC, technical communication. So one by one we will go through all these points which will highlight the importance of technical communication. Let's come to the first point. Important in highly competitive environment. Think logically. As much the people are in the crowd to be selected, as much the competition will be there for you. Yes or no? So it requires you to be very much expert in the field. And how you can prove yourself to be expert? Only when you will communicate something which you have in your mind. Means you need to be very much expert. Yes or no? So in the highly competitive environment, you need to be very much expert. This is the importance of technical communication. Okay, as an explanation, we choose only our favorite writer for all the technical subjects. We know this. Okay, this is just about your focus on some specific writers because you like the way they use to explain the things. Yes or no? Okay, let's move ahead to the second point, which shows the importance of technical communication. Revolution to spread information to all. Don't you think this is a duty to share one's knowledge with all? Yes or no? Something which we know. This is the responsibility of a teacher. This is the responsibility of a senior. This is the responsibility who is your supervisor or who is managing you and your work. This is the responsibility of that person to spread information what he or she knows so that you can perform the task. You can perform the tasks as needed. Yes, absolutely. So it is very much important to be perfect in TC, then only you can share your knowledge with all. Yes or no? So this is the righteous example to show the importance of technical communication. Explanation. Who is good to share technical information? We always choose those who are good to share technical information, and there TC is the only medium. Is it okay? TC is the only medium to share that technical information with others. Let's come to the third point, which shows the importance of technical communication, that is changed technological environment. So requirement of an expert in TC with new and developed technology. We all do know regularly technology is developing. So in that case, when the technology is developing regularly, one person who is known to that new developed technology, he or she is responsible to share what he or she knows. Yes or no? So changed technological environment requires those people who are good to share the new and innovative technology with all. So there only one thing can help them all, that is TC, technical communication. So this too is very much righteous example to show the importance. Okay, let's come to the next point. Socio-economic changes in the new millennium. Let's understand what is socio. Something which is related to society, and economic which is related to money. So if you really want to maintain a status in the society, you need to earn well. And if you really need to earn well, you have to be very much perfect in one thing. Means in one thing, what is that one thing? To show your knowledge and expertise. Till the time you don't know how to show your value, how to show your knowledge to others, you won't be able to earn well. Yes or no? So that earning is very much necessary for you to be good in the society. So socio-economic changes are dependent to the expertness of an individual. This is very much linked with one another. Socio-economic changes are dependent to the expertness of the individual. Is it clear? So this too is the righteous example which shows the importance of technical communication. Let's move ahead to know a few more which shows the importance of technical communication. We have last 3 points which will show the importance. The next one. Growing diversity. Diversity is all about the different variety, the growing diversity of business world. So different business requirements need expert to accommodate as per its diversities. As the businesses are changing, as the technology is coming to the human with an innovative form, it is must to be perfect in that, and as well as this is your responsibility to share that with others as well. If you understood something, you are supposed to spread that to others as well. So different business requirements, as the world is changing, as the need of a person is changing, business is growing in that way. Yes or no? Yes, absolutely. So different business requirements need the expert. They need the expert to accommodate as per this diversity. As the diversity is coming to the business world, a person must be there to accommodate with that, and only that people will accommodate with this who are good to share something with others with the help of technical communication. So ultimately a expert is needed to communicate, to do that, to establish that relationship in technical communication. Okay, let's move ahead to the next point. Globalization. Don't you think something which you know, it is important to share that with all? Yes, absolutely. We are regularly, like from last couple of minutes, we are focusing on this. It is important for a person, if he knows something, to share that information with others. But is that only for those specific group or crowd which are near to you or which are related to your own regions? No, it's impossible. Region, I'm talking about that region. No, it is not. You are supposed to be very much convenient with those all who are not from your own area. This is called globalization. Means what you know must be shared with all the people of different continent and countries. Is it clear? It is not the way. Means when you have those guts to convince your family members, you must have those guts to convince the members who are not of your family, the people who are not of your family. The same is given here. Globalization is all about something. When you have those guts to explain something to your people around you, you must have those guts as well to share that information with the people, those who are not from your own area. Means they are from the different countries, they are from the different state, they are from the different continents as well. Okay, so this is all about the globalization, which shows the importance of technical communication. And the last point which proves the importance of technical communication is growing complexity. Complexity means something which is difficult to understand. And what is this all about? Yes, it is quite clear. All the things are quite typical for us, but how people are making those all things simple to us depends on this. Don't you think that it was very much typical for a new person, for an unknown person, to know how to do work on laptops or PCs? Yes, it was very much difficult. Don't you think it was very much tough to operate Android phones? Yes, it was very much tough, but now it has become quite easy because regularly people who know this very well are sharing that information to operate these all things, operate these all devices. Yes or no? So, as much the complexity is coming, the need of technical communication comes in picture. Is it clear? Is it clear? So as much the information is complex, as more the expert are needed with TC to explain it clearly. So these all points are these all are the points to show the importance of technical communication. Clear? I'm moving to the next slide. This is all about the requisites of technical communication. If some students are not clear about the requisites, this clearly refers about the requirement. Requisites means requirement. So what are those requisites which are important in technical communication? We have only three requisites. The first one is proficiency in subject. Second one is proficiency in language. Third one is proficiency in instruction. What these 3 points is all about. What these 3 points are all about. Sorry. The first thing, think logically. Is it possible for you to say something on a subject which you don't know? Like for an example, I am a teacher of English. Okay. So is it really possible for me to do or to say anything about mathematics? Is it? It's impossible. I cannot say. It would be very much hard for me to say or to guide any students with any theory which is related to mathematics. For that, I need to know about the subject. So the first thing which is really required as an essential for technical communication, that is proficiency in subject. You must be very much sound in your subject. Second one is, like, think I am quite knowledgeable. I know a subject very well, but I don't know how to speak or how to write. Will I be able to? Will I be able to share my knowledge with others? It means this clearly highlights the use of a language. A person must be very much very much sound in language. So proficiency in language is all about something to be sound in. To be sound in language. To share that knowledge. Is it clear? So proficiency in subject. Look at the cursor. Proficiency in subject. You must have that subject knowledge. You must have that knowledge of that language which you will use to share that knowledge of that subject. Yes or no? Third point. Proficiency in instruction. This is all about something which gives the understanding with thoughts and information. Means you must know how to manage your thoughts. Look at this, how to manage your thoughts and information together. Listen very much clearly. Proficiency in instruction is all about how you are managing your thoughts with the information. This is the third thing. Even when you know the knowledge of a subject, you know a language properly, how to share that, but you don't know how to manage the thoughts which comes to your mind or ideas which comes to your mind with the information. Means you must know how to relate the subject with the language appropriately to leave a better impression, to share that with more comprehensibility. Yes or no? Comprehension is must. Even when you when you have the sound knowledge in subject and you know how to use language, there too a particular structure is needed which helps others to relate. Yes or no? Very well. Let's move ahead to the next slide. And this is all about the essential of technical communication. We just understood requisites, means the basic requirement. Here on this slide, we are going to know elements of technical communication, means the points, the elements, the things which are important to be a part of technical communication. What these are all about? Let's go through these all one by one. First thing, simple diction. Here, I'm sure some of you must be very much confused with this new word diction. I will let you know about the meaning of this one. Diction is all about the words which you are using to explain and understanding. Is it clear? Simple diction. Simple diction is all about the word which you are choosing to explain something. Choosing words to explain something. So, For the technical communication, the words which you are using must be appropriately used to show the comprehension, to let the other people know that very much clearly. Okay, simple diction is all about the words which you are using appropriately to make the understanding more better. This is all about the simple diction. Let's come to the second point, which comes as an essential element of technical communication. This is short sentence. What is this short sentence? In technical communication, if you will go on to make the lengthy sentences in which you are using too many phrases and clauses, it can disturb the understanding. Why? Because all the people who are there as an audience are not as per your level. So it is expected from the speaker, it is expected from the sender. He must use those sentences which are simple to understand, which are simple with its comprehension. So short sentences are all about something which comes with less number of words but with complete understanding. This is the second element. The third one is order or sequence of the process. Yes, this too is very much important. I briefed this in the differences between GC and TC. There isn't any set pattern of GC, means general communication, but technical communication cannot be without a specific format. So this is the same thing. Order is very much essential for a person who is expert in a subject or who is establishing a technical communication with others. He must follow, or I should say he should follow a sequence which can attract the attention and that link with the audience to make the comprehension better. Is it clear? So order and sequence too is very much important for technical communication and comes and known as the essential element. Okay. The fourth point, punctuation. I'm sure most of you are quite well aware of this punctuation. Yes, comma, semicolon, full stop, colon. These all are the punctuation marks. But these all are used to write down something. Yes or no? Yes, absolutely. And as we discussed, technical communication is done, or I should say, in technical communication, we use both oral way of communication and written way of communication. Yes or no? So there, if you are writing something, or if you are sharing technical understanding or technical communication you are doing with the written formation, with a written way of communication, you are supposed to use the punctuation marks very much perfectly. And what about the oral communication? I mentioned this one as well. If you are orally communicating, or if you are orally doing technical communication, there you must use those specific points which are essential, like small pause, big pause, full pause, direct flow, stress. You are supposed to use these all to make the comprehension better. To make the comprehension better. So this is all about the punctuation. Okay. Here on this slide, this is an example of the punctuation mark for the written communication. Here, there was a lady whose husband was working in ITI and posted somewhere else. Okay, so to share all the things which are happening around her means with the wife, what she was facing there at home, she shares those all things with her husband. And because of she was not that much good with the punctuation marks, she wrote a letter in which she put all those punctuation marks incorrectly, and a picture comes with different understanding or comprehension. Please understand, I am sure some of you must have read this story, this letter already, posted to the WhatsApp or Facebook. So this is all about something. I'm not saying this is something to go on, but this is just to have the understanding about the use, about the correctness of punctuation marks. Okay, read this yourself and understand how punctuation marks can change the meaning with the righteous words even. Okay, let's move ahead to the last slide for today's lecture. This is all about the objectivity. This too is an essential element of technical communication. Suppose we discussed technical communication comes with a specific motive, means that motive is all about the purpose. When you are selecting a particular group, when you are choosing a group, when you are choosing a crowd, you specifically chose that group. You chose that crowd specifically. So you have something in your mind as a purpose or objectivity. Till the time you don't have an objectivity in your mind, you won't be able to do the technical communication better for the business and industrial purposes. This is all about the objectivity. Yes or no? So motive, purpose, objective is very much important to do technical communication. And the last point, which is the element of technical communication, is conciseness. Please do not get confused with this shortness. Conciseness is different with the short sentence. Short sentence are those sentences which are with less number of words but with the complete understanding. Conciseness means shortness is all about something where the understanding is shared with less number of sentences, not something which we understood in with the less number of words in a sentence. I am not talking about the sentence, I am talking about the use of multiple sentences which are explaining the same understanding, which are relating, which are like arranged in such a sequence to clear the comprehension, to clear the understanding. But those are not with more and more sentences. Those are with those specific sentences which are required to explain the understanding clearly. This is all about the conciseness. So something which is clear, the understanding with less words and sentences. Is it clear? So this is all about the conciseness. Here these are the points which are essentially be considered as the essential elements of technical communication. Okay, so I am ending my video here. On this slide we will go on to get other contents of the same unit in the next video. Okay, so be focused on all the points which are explained here. One thing more, it is very much important. Please, dear students, please listen to me. It is important to focus on the words which I am explaining to make the understanding clear. And if something is not clear, leave your comments in the comments section as well as subscribe the channel. Why? Because when I will upload the next video, you will get the notification as soon as possible. Okay? You will get the notification then and there. Okay? As I upload that. Okay, so please subscribe the channel as well and leave your comments. One thing more, your comments helps me. Your comments help me to know who all have gone through. As I know you all, if you will leave your comments, I will get to know who all have gone through my videos and the concept. Is it clear? So I am ending this video here on this slide. We will go on to understand the rest content. Okay, bye bye, take care of yourself and your family members as well. Okay, bye bye, take care everyone.